So editors, you are probably used to editors on your own computer. Maybe it's Windows, Mac, could be Linux. But in any case, it is good to know what editors you can use on the command line, and also what editors you can use in a GUI on Linux. And here we are going to look at some of those editors. So we had looked at less, more, and cat, and that is useful if you just need to see the content, particularly because then you won't easily modify the content. But if you want to modify the content, then you need an editor. Of course, you can throw new stuff to it with cat, but you cannot really edit it otherwise, change it. So what are good editors for the command line? There is one called Nano. It is a quite simple editor, but it can do most of the things you want to do. There are more powerful editors like VI or Vim or Emacs, and those are vastly more powerful, but they are also well, they have quite a learning curve because there is a lot of commands in them, and especially on the command line, you would need to memorize a lot of commands in order to use them, but they will be able to like add the same symbol in front of every line or move all lines to the right and things like this. Nano can't do that, but if you just need to edit smaller files or do minor edits, then Nano is more than enough and it's much easier to use. So Nano is the one we are going to recommend here, and I will try starting it up to show you how it looks. You can start Nano just as it is with just the words Nano like this. But you could also type nano and a file name. And if you do that and the file exists, it will open the file. If it doesn't exist, it will create a file. So if I say nano my file.txt, then it opens this new file because there wasn't such a file. And I can then directly type in it. Hello. I am typing some content. And when you have edited it, added stuff, whatever you want to do in it, then you want to save it. You look down here, there are a description of some of the commands, and you see there is this hat character in front of it, and that means you should push Control and hold it down while you type that letter. So if you press an X now while holding down Control, then it asks you, should I save the modified buffer? If you wanted to save this file, save the changes to the file, then you type Y for yes. And then it says, do you want me to write it to the file you wanted to call it before, or that you opened it with? And if you want to do that, just press enter. Or you could instead change it if you didn't want to overwrite it. But now I'm just keeping it and pressing enter. And there is now a file, my file. I'm going to list all files. I'm going to show them sorted recursively so that I see the newest one at the bottom. That is my file, the new one I just created. So please try this. Just take a minute or two, try Nano. Try creating a new file with it. Try opening it without saying what the file should be called, because then it will ask what you want to call it. So try it out. Let's take 2 minutes. I will continue again, and now I will briefly mention editors for the graphical user interface. If you're connecting with ThinLink, then you will have a graphical user interface. And from within ThinLink, you could either open a terminal window, a shell, and then use these editors, or you can choose editors from the menu. It differs a bit how it looks on ThinLink depending on which center you are at, and also which desktop environment it uses. Tetralit at NSC has XFCE, whereas Kebnekaise has Mate. They look a little bit different, but doesn't matter that much. But in any case, there are several different editors, and I'm going to now start ThinLink and just show you. So I'm going to connect, and it's also going to ask me now for this verification code. And I'm finding it. You can see here, it remembers what I did last time. That is also possible to tell it to just start a new session, but I'm going to close this. And then I'll show you here under applications, and you can scroll down here and see various things you can use here. And under accessories, you will find Emacs, GWim, NeoWim, text editor, and I'm going to open text editor because that is probably the simpler one of these, and it's quite similar to Notepad, for instance. You can open files here, and you can create new files with this one. And there are some commands here. You can actually do find and replace, things like this. So here you would just type something. I can search and find and replace. I will save this. So I just click save. And then it asks me where do I want to save it. And I'm going to just say new file text. I give it a name and I leave it in the directory I'm in. Press save. And if I want to close it, I can just close it here. If I wanted to open a file, it will suggest the newest ones. You can pick other documents and get a this file editor thing, file search thing, or you can type it in here. And you can just close it by pressing the X here. So if you're connecting with something like ThinLink, you have options like this. And this is how the XFCE desktop environment looks like. And you can log out of it again by pressing log out. And then it asks you, do you want to log out? And I'm saying yes. Okay. So if you have a ThinLink connection, you can try this out. And otherwise, you know this is how you can do if you use it later.